Okay guys, welcome back in. We've got a great show for you. Different kind of show, similar to what we normally bring, but you're going to enjoy this one. Today, we go to Edmonton. Today, we also meet up with one of our great poets on the channel, Trouty McTrout. Going to meet Daryl later in the show. Also going to get to Dave GANTAR, FIFA referee, who had his last game in Edmonton. That's coming to you too. So keep it here. Get ready for a fun show. Get ready for a fast show. And get ready for a story at the end that would break most kids' hearts. Stick around for that, but it's an interesting one. It's got some relevance or some reference to games getting cancelled. Now, you're going to see a few little movies of me tripping up the highway, showing you the scenes and showing you the countryside in middle Alberta as I'm getting up to Edmonton for the big interview and a fun time meeting Trouty McTrout. So, keep it here. Get ready, and the first thing we're going to talk about, comments down below, guys. I know you got loads of comments about the game that was cancelled, the second game that was cancelled. So if you're confused, I'm not talking about the Iran game. I'm actually talking about the Panama game that was cancelled less than 2 hours before kickoff. Me, myself, I'd made big travel arrangements. I was travelling, and expecting to watch a game. And what happens? No game. Travelling back home straight away. Nothing gained, nothing lost, but you know what? Not a great day for the people that, maybe the families that had flew to Vancouver or drove to Vancouver with their kids to have a super double header in Vancouver, the big city, maybe a shopping tour, maybe a sightseeing tour, maybe get on a boat, go to Nanaimo, have some fun, who knows? But when you call the game off minutes, not hours, minutes before the game, what chance do you give all the families and the local Vancouver people? What chance do you give them to react to that? It's the second game that's been cancelled. I'm not angry right now. I was angry. I was frustrated. But right now, I'm in a case of, you better not cancel another game in the next little while. And if you cancel that Curacao game, I'd have to ask myself, what the hell is going on? Really? But there's two sides to this equation, okay? There's the people that are for and the people that are against. That was the Iran game. On the Panama game, I don't think there's a plus or a minus. I don't think there's two sides to stick to. I think there's the players and the soccer association that need to sort their asses out big time. And I think that it should have been kept in-house. Why does this need to be public? Why did it need to come out so heavily as it's done? This is making the players look bad. And it's making the association look weak. And it's making us look like a joke on the world stage in the football world. So again, could this have been handled any worse? Because I don't think it could have been. And off the back of the Iran game, which was a black eye enough, we've now been punched in both eyes. And quite frankly, when you call a game with minutes to go, you really have not thought about the fans too lovingly, have you? So, I know you've already answered the questions on the last video, but if you've got something to add that I've not covered, let me know. But I would have said, guys, keep playing, and we'll negotiate all the way through to the next transfer window or the next international window, but we'll set ourselves a date in the future to aim off for. But there's no point killing games and disappointing the fans when you're fighting over a couple of $1,000 either way of the equation. Guys and I on the Ultimate Soccer Show, links down below at the YouTube channel. We've had many comments come through, and big up to everybody who's commenting. Big up. There's some great points there. Every single body who put a comment down there that did the poet thing and commented down below, be proud of what you did, guys, because the points are priceless. If we had that kind of brainstorming at the CSA or within the Canadian national men's team squad, I think they would have come up with a better solution and not made a blocker, a problem, a road jam, a policeman in the middle stopping everything. It didn't need to happen. So, I'm just saying, it was handled very badly. It could have been done a lot better. And quite frankly, I'm quite sad for how it looks right now. Curacao game is coming. There's a little bit of a dampener on that because of what's happened in the last two games. Boy, oh boy, if you cancel the next game, I've got to ask myself what is going on. But anyway, we've eaten it now. We're moving through. We're staying positive because you can't keep us down. No matter what you do, you cannot keep the fans down. You cannot disappoint us any more than you have done already. And you've taken us practically to the top of the mountain by qualifying. And now you do this twice in 2 games. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel right. And I know you, my friend, are not appreciating any of that at all. I know you're not, because who could? I mean, who could? Anyway, Games cancelled twice. Going for Curacao now. Let's have a good game. Let's get some points. And let's get to Honduras and make it count. But I'd love to know which player or which players started this semi-mutiny or stance, a line in the sand, call it what you will. But it was very unprofessional in how this rolled out, yeah? Just saying, just saying. And I'm still keeping a smile on my face, and I know you are too, but this wasn't right. Now, moving it forward. Hey guys, we're heading up the highway. Gorgeous bit of asphalt here. And just take a look out there. What a beautiful day this is. What a beautiful piece of asphalt we got for us, you know? But we're heading to Edmonton, and like I say, going to do the big interview with Dave Gantar and bring you back that. And as we go up and down the highway, don't forget, we're going to put you a few little scenes of Alberta highways, and yeah, there's a funny one coming up right now. Check this out. Thought I'd show you a little bit of the trip up north, and just on the smoothest bit of asphalt the world ever gave us. I mean, this is a little bump there, but this is absolutely cat's ass, smooth as a baby's bum asphalt. Oh, no, no. Oh, it's not ending. I thought it was about to end, but it's just a little bit of a blip. Oh, back on that smooth bit of asphalt. Now, when I got up to Edmonton on the weekend, I was going up to Edmonton for two reasons. Firstly, was the Dave Gantar FIFA referee, Canadian referee, famous all around the world, to interview Dave on his final game, and also to meet up with one of our viewers, just like you. If I'm in your town, give me a shout. We can go for lunch, we can meet up, we can do anything. But give me a shout and we'll meet up and we'll have some fun. Just like I did with Daryl, Trouty McTrout. And hey, great guy, we had a great time. The restaurant we went to was a nice place, you'll see that in a little while. And what we did after, we'll see that too. But right now, it's all about Dave Gantar. Now, just a little filler in. Dave, FIFA referee, career referee, started in Edmonton, in the Kilkenny area of Edmonton, and that was the field that he started on. You'll see that that's where we took the interview at the school wall at the same field where Dave started his refereeing career. So we've gone back in time and we've caught up with Dave at the field where he started, where he finishes his career as a referee. It was a game for kids, and hey, here's the interview. And take a look. And Daryl was the cameraman on the day, so I was away from the camera for quite some time, but you'll see my face and what we got to say, and you'll have some laughs with it once it starts rolling. But first up, a few pictures of me milling around, then you'll get the interview from Dave Gantar, FIFA referee, and I. A little bit of fun in there. It's not a boring one, so keep it there, you'll enjoy it. Dave did too, and so did people around. We had other cameras filming as well, so I'm going to be on other mediums as well. Alberta Soccer's got a camera filming on me there as well, and the local CFRN were filming as well. That went out on Saturday night, and we heard about that, so a lot of people were saying, hey, it's Soccer Steve, and yes, it was. So anyway, enough about me, it's all about Dave Gantar. Check this out, you'll have some fun. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. No, whatever you want, Davey. You're the star. What do you think? Yeah,
I'm not the star.
Have you got us
the
in
kids?
There?
I'll say it again.
So come back in here. Come back in here.
The kids.
There we go. There we go.
The kids were the star.
Yeah, the kids are star. Okay, we're live here in Edmonton. Is this Kilkenny?
This is Kilkenny.
This is Kilkenny. It's Kilkenny. Okay, we're in the right place. We've got the right guy, Dave Gantar. I told you we were going to do this interview with Dave shortly after the game. Here we are. Word kept. 1,000k trip just for this superstar. Now, career's over. This is where he started his field conditions and started from young man to a little bit younger man. He's never aged a day. He looks exactly like he was when he started. Now here's the deal. During the game, out there, I noticed there was a really heavy tackle, and I'm thinking to myself at the time, you know, ref, should have been one of these in the game, no? I mean, I'll give you that now to keep that, but
thank you.
Why no red card?
I didn't have one. I thank you. You provided it to me now. You should have given it to me earlier. So.
Well, no red card. Well, I'll tell you what, get one of these for having no red card. I'm telling you, we're outdoing ourselves here. Being serious though for a note, guys, are you going to miss this game?
You know what? Doing this, I'm going to get to watch it. I'm going to see it from a different perspective. but being on the field with like the kids, it was amazing. So yeah, I'll miss it.
Are you going to retire completely, or are you coming back?
No, I believe at this moment in time I will not referee another game. That's it. So I will mentor, coach, support referees, but
When you wake up tomorrow morning, how are you going to feel about that? Like, something that you've done and you've loved doing it for years and years and years. You've taken it to the MLS, you've taken it internationally, you wore the FIFA badge across his chest here, like one of the biggest things in refereeing history in this country. How are you going to feel when that is no longer your life?
it's, you know
What are you going to do?
I am if you're, what is it? What did John Candy say in the movie Cool Runnings? It was, if you're not enough without it, you'll never be enough with it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think I'm enough without it.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah.
So definitely like things like kicking and screaming. Will Ferrell was not without it. He was with it all the time. Yeah. But this is a fantastic day. Dave, thanks very much. Keep the cards.
Right on.
You did a
Thank you.
fantastic job out there with the kids. No cards. No cards. But, you know, he did a great job again. And that's what he's done all his career. And this is Canadian history, like I promised you on the show, guys. It's absolute Canadian history. Look up the name Dave Gantar. This should be on every soccer channel throughout the country today. Thanks, Dave.
Cheers.
Bingo. Well, there you go. Dave Gantar, fantastic guy. I love the fella. I really do. And anybody connected to Dave's family, hey, that guy did an immense job for Canada, an immense job in refereeing, and I'll tell you, it's going to be tough to find another referee that is as good and consistent as Dave Gantar. Consistency is the key for a referee, and I think that Davey has seen it all in the game, and he can tell you what's going on. He can tell you why he's given you the yellow card and how many fouls you actually did commit, and he wasn't even looking your way all the time, but when he did look around, you were committing an offence that he saw. It's that easy. Dave's a super guy, and like I say, we wish him much success in his retirement from soccer, not retirement from work. He's still a young fella, yeah? So, there we go. But straight after the game, Daryl, our cameraman for the day, went on to tell us, hey, you know what? We could go for somewhere to eat. There's a great place down the road. So we had an escort to the restaurant. Check out the escort. And we got Daryl giving us a little bit of an escort to where we're going. Lovely fella. And great escort there by the motorbike, the soccer motorbike police, and Daryl, aka Daryl. And check a look at the restaurant. We went into that restaurant, and I tell you what, the place was immaculately clean, amazing food, great service. I tell you, I was really impressed with that location. So if you're in the neighborhood northwest Edmonton, check those guys out. It really is worth your time. The prices are great, the food's amazing, loads of parking, easy access in and out. Like I say, didn't say enough about the service because the service was top drawer, and they leave you alone and they only pester you when they need to, and it's just top drawer. So if you're in the neighborhood northwest Edmonton, check them out. Great location, and we had a fun time there too. Now, a story that I'm going to leave you with is a story that's a disappointing story for a young soccer fan, okay? Now, let's just imagine, turn in the keys. We pick a family that's, say, living in, let's say Calgary, Alberta, just for a location, okay? So the family's living in Calgary, Alberta. They've got two options. They can fly to Vancouver or they can drive. Now, driving to Vancouver is about 1,100 k's, maybe 1,150 from Calgary. Takes about 10, 11 hours, maybe 11 to 12 hours, because you can pick up speed on the Coca-Cola, which is 120 k's an hour over the Rockies, and that is a racetrack, I'm telling you. If you don't put your foot down, people are just whoop, 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 by you, and you're like, I'm standing still. I'm not even moving. But anyway, you could drive to Vancouver, and it'll take you 11 hours, 12 hours safely, and when you've got kids, maybe 12 to 13, because you're going to make a few stops, yeah? If you fly, it's just under an hour, and flying to Vancouver is a fantastic thing. You see the Rocky Mountains go below you. You can see for thousands of miles up there, and it's just a great trip. I've done both many times, flying and driving to Vancouver. I enjoy both. If it was a shorter trip, I'd enjoy the drive more. If it was 6 hours, I'd be doing it all the time. I would never fly because the scenery is kick-ass. It's unbelievable. You'll see moose run across the highway, bears coming at you, eagles in the sky. Some of them eagles are as big as pterodactyls. I mean, man, you look up, there's a big shadow. It's an eagle. You're like, whoa, don't eat me. Unbelievable. But anyway, just imagine that family in Calgary. They've got a couple of kids. They're Canadian soccer fans. They're going to the game. Going to play Iran, got cancelled. Rebooked. We're going to play Panama, got cancelled. What are they thinking right now? They'd be really disappointed, yeah? So, here's a story from yours truly, from when I was a kid, and I was going to my first international game. It was England versus Bulgaria, and it was at the old Wembley Stadium. The old Wembley Stadium, or more to the point, Wembley Stadium. The real Wembley, with the Twin Towers. Look up the Twin Towers, Wembley Stadium, you'll see what I mean. Anywho, I am 14 at the time, and my school booked a bus and booked tickets to drive all the way to Wembley, which was 5 hours away at the time, because I lived in Middle England, in the north to Middle England, near Manchester. And we get on the coach as kids, we're driving down a motorway, because it's not a highway, it's a motorway. And we're driving down the motorway, and we've been driving for about 2-3 hours. We make a stop at a motorway cafe, which is a rest stop. And we get to the motorway cafe, and we're all out there getting our chocolates and our pops, and we get back in the bus, and we got another 2.5 hours to London, because that's where Wembley is, yeah? We get to London, but as we're getting closer to London, where we started off with clear blue skies, it slowly gets overcast, like a black clouds moving in over the whole affair. Much like having 2 games cancelled. But here's the deal. That black cloud, them clouds were rolling in, because it's always cloudy in Britain, right? Do you ever see the sun in Britain? Rarely. Now, the clouds are rolling in. We're getting closer to London now. It's getting dark. It's getting gloomy. It's getting hard to see down the road. And we get outside Wembley Stadium. And for the last hour driving to Wembley, we're thinking, I can't see much out there. We're doing about 5 miles an hour. If we can't see much, and we're driving this slow, what are they going to see on the field? So we get to Wembley Stadium, the coach is parked up, there's tens of thousands of fans outside Wembley Stadium. This is November the 21st, 1979. There's thousands of fans, tens of thousands of fans outside Wembley Stadium, and the doors are locked. And it's like an hour and a half before the game, and the doors are locked. It's maybe closer to 2 hours, but it's less than 2 hours. Much like that Panama scene. And then they come over, the loudhailers, because there was no electronic boards back then, and there was no cell phones or smartphones to get your internet information. It was a case of, guy came out and said, due to the fog, the game is cancelled and postponed until tomorrow. Big loudhailer, and he was shouting it. And it wasn't just him. There was about 10 guys all around Wembley Stadium giving the same address to everybody through a loudhailer. You should imagine how disappointed people were. But you should imagine this kid and all the school kids around him that had to get back on that bus and drive home 5 hours. And it's already 6:30 now. So now we're going to get home about midnight, which could have been 2 in the morning had we watched the game. And I'd have been up for that. But the game's cancelled, and it's the thickest fog you've ever seen in your life. And there's a couple of pictures that I can throw to you that you're going to see right now. And that's pictures of Kevin Keegan, who was a wonderful player, and Dave Watson. Keegan was a forward, and Dave Watson was a central defender, real giant central defender, tough as nails. You didn't get by him, and if you did, poof, you're down. But yeah, we get back on the coach, we're all depressed, we're all sad, we haven't seen the game. We're riding back up to Manchester area, where we were from, and we get back home, and that's the saddest thing that can happen to a kid, is to go to an international football match, or even if it's his favourite team. But when you've travelled on the road and you're on your very first road trip, and it doesn't come off, and you don't get to see your national team play against the team coming in, who you've paid their way. Yeah, every team that comes in as a guest internationally, you always pay their bills. That what happened with Iran and Panama, that's nothing new, that's standard. Why they make a point about that in the news, I have no idea. Anywho, All us little kids were sad, disappointed, depressed, really sad that we hadn't seen the game. And I'm telling you now how I felt when that game was called off 2 hours before kickoff in 1979 as a young kid waiting to see England play Bulgaria. Can you only imagine right now how many kids are disappointed now and days after that 2 games have been cancelled? So you know what? To all the guys and the girls that booked flights, booked hotels, drove there for nothing, I've done it. And I'll tell you what, I sympathise with you. I really sympathise. But look forward to the next game and look forward to games coming through. Because that's what we are as fans. We don't get down. We can have a stumble. We can be a little bit sad. But we get back in the saddle and we ride back up to the next stadium and we get back in the crowd and we get back in behind the team. And there's nothing wrong with what we have as the fans. So you fans out there, remember, I've lived what those guys in Vancouver have lived. I lived it again when they cancelled the Panama game because that's what I was doing, going to the game. Anywho, at the end of the day, we all have our disappointments. Now, collectively as a fan base, whether you're left or whether you're right of the equation, we all need to come together. And we need to be together. And we need to support this team, no matter what the finances and what the arguments are with the hierarchy. I am not going to go against the players. I am not going to go against the association. But I'm certainly going to be backing both for a better tomorrow. And I hope you are too. Guys, I tell you what, that's where we need to do. That's where we need to take it. Keep your fun, keep your love for this team where it was a couple of months ago. Don't let this change anything. It can do, but don't let it change anything because really, we've only got 5 months before the World Cup and we need to get there gliding into Qatar. Not going there under a storm, which is what it looks like right now. Anyhow, we will have our disappointments. Get into it. And the next show, we're going to be telling you about Stadium 9. I'll tell you 9, maybe Stadium 10. Is it 11? I don't know. You'll just have to hang around and get there. Guys, thanks very much for watching. Remember, when we have a down, there's an up around the corner. So never be down too long because you never are. And things always work out, don't they? Yeah? So, you've met our super ref. You've met Daryl. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a short show, but that's where we're going right now. Today is all about Dave Gantar, the ref, and meeting Trouty McTrout. And again, if you're in the area and you know I'm in the same area, give me a shout. I'll come and meet you for lunch and we can have a good old time and really enjoy the day. Cheers, guys. Have a great day.